Vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Alright, before we go into this, we'll start off by saying Shalom, Israel. Give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the elders out there that's out there teaching the truth and sincerity. And salutations to the hopeful elect. Alright. This video will be titled America, D.O.B., daughter of Babylon, will be jumped by the other nations or the other kingdoms. So let's get straight to it. Obadiah. The vision from the top. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold. So before we move on, as you can see, we have the so-called heathen ambassador right here, pretty much, whose name is, he goes by the name of Vladimir Putin. So we're gonna pull him to the side really quick, and we're gonna pull up this article that just closed out, so Shalak, bear with me. Alright, let's see. Devil, he working. Satan, let's see. Because I had this pulled up. See, we have a bunch of folly on here. That's not it. It's Baltimore News. That's not it. So this is an article that just came out, I believe yesterday, if not the day before, and it's basically dealing with Russia deporting I forget which exact specific artillery weaponry it was, but pretty much they had stationed themselves in Venezuela. Let's go to politics. So as you can see, it's going down in Venezuela right now, where Russia has stationed themselves at. See, this is big right here. Rioting breaks out in Venezuela amid attempted coup. So you're gonna see what that means once we get this article. Yeah. That's big. See, we need the exact do something. As soon as I get it pulled, as soon as I go to do bring the prophecy out, this happens. Let's search it. It's like they got rid of the article. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah. That's what happens when you want to work. So you can start playing games. You know. Baltimore news. Yeah, man. Let's see. Okay, so as I was saying, so it says once again from the top. So it says the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, let us arise up against her in battle. All right. So basically, what's going down? We're gonna go ahead. Like I said, we got this guy. This is another Edomite. All in all, at the to your left, his name is Vladimir Putin. He's the president of Russia, and this might be the guy to fulfill all the prophecies concerning the destruction of the daughter of Babylon, aka America. So let's get to how we're gonna prove that basically that America, place we just named, will be jumped by the other nations / kingdoms. As you can see with the first verse getting into that of Obadiah, that an ambassador will be sent among the other heathens, and they're gonna rise up against her, and it's gonna go even if you don't necessarily want to agree with that, the next scriptures go into a point of this. Basically, we're seeing the prophecy. The Most High setting it up right now. So this just happened just yesterday. It says Russian missiles and Venezuela heighten U.S. tensions, because this has been going on for a while now. Venezuela, they dropped the dollar the U.S. dollar sometime late last year, and that was automatically, a spark for war. So Russia. Scriptures have it that, Most High told the other nations to gather and shoot your bow and arrows, or whatever, at her. And all that's going to be ultimately led by the country that this guy's running to our left, Vladimir Putin. So that's basically what we're dealing with, what we're seeing take place. So, without further ado, it says Russian missiles in Venezuela heighten U.S. tensions. Madrid, Spain. Russian military personnel flying into Venezuela in recent weeks were likely sent to ensure the nation's sophisticated S-300, that's what I want to say, which is a surface-to-air missile, remain a credible deterrent to any U.S. military action against the government of Socialist President Nicolas Maduro, according to defense analysts in Latin America, the U.S. and Russia. So it says, basically they sending it these here for intimidation. So America won't even try, because everyone knows, about, the standings of, the armies and, you know, and so forth, that Russia has the most powerful military on the planet. Period. So it says the Russian military personnel, they flew into Venezuela to ensure the nation's sophisticated S-300 surface-to-air missile remains a credible deterrent to any U.S. military action. So they have enough, thus proving the point that they know that Russian military is really on a high level. The Most High ordained it to be like that. And it talks about that in Romans, that the powers that be are ordained, or paraphrasing, the powers that be are ordained by God or the Most High. And pretty much whoever refuses it, you basically getting in the way. All right. So that's obviously set up for it to be like that. Moving on. It says analysts say the Russian military contingent, which reportedly arrived in late March, included air defense specialists with the necessary skills to ensure the decade-old missiles can be kept operational in spite of Venezuela's crumbling infrastructure and frequent power failures. So pretty much, analysts say that the Russian military contingent, which reportedly arrived in late March, included air defense specialists with necessary skills to ensure the decade-old missiles can be kept operational in spite of Venezuela's crumbling infrastructure and frequent power failures. So pretty much America, they wants to move on Venezuela, but Venezuela and Vladimir Putin and Russia, they basically became allies. It's been an ongoing battle with America and Russia since I think the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. And pretty much he's just playing this Obadiah verse 1 to the T. He ambassador in all the other heathen nations. And this in all, this is Satan against Satan, which is what Yahushua spoke to when he said, if Satan be against Satan, that the house shall be divided, it's going to fall. Paraphrasing. So that's pretty much what we're seeing go down. And we're watching the demise of all of these nations, really, all in all. But first and foremost, and most importantly, America, where we're trapped at, where all the majority of the Israelites at, most of the Jews are at, the lead tribe, Judah, Yahweh. All right. Now it says, so pretty much they have that much Venezuela. They're pretty much their whole society is crumbling, which is why they made the move to drop the U.S. dollar, because obviously the U.S. dollar, America's whole infrastructure is crumbling as well. But that was a business move or whatever, because each country has a liable asset that each other country needs. So they basically play the tit for tat game pretty much. That's why no one has made a move on anybody, because everyone's using each other. But Most High had it to where in Psalms 2, which we'll get really quick. Let me get that real quick. Psalms chapter 2. I believe. Psalms chapter 2. It said, why do the heathen rage and the people, verse 1, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? All right, it says, the king of the earth set themselves, and the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, saying, and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. So pretty much that's what they've been doing, but over time this took place. So they was going against. That's why we don't have anyone to represent our nation the nation of Israel. You know, they got it, even each individual tribe believing they're a nation in themselves only. But no one represents none of the 12 tribes, not one. All right. So we've been watching over the years, basically, this confederacy against the Most High and His anointed. That common ground, that ground is now shattering. We seeing, you know, and it's gonna be the worst mudslide to ever be recorded. All right, moving on. It says, "Let us break." They said, "Let us," verse 3. "Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us." Verse 4. "He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh; the Lord shall have them in derision." So that's basically what done took place. So they went from doing that to now they're in derision. All right. So back to it. So back to the article. So, Russia being the #1 army, they sent these missiles over. They that much confident to where they just sent over somebody that could still work the machinery that they gave them, which they said is a decade old, but they still powerful enough to the point to where they can deter any possible motivation that America can, you know, soup up or whatever. Period. The Venezuela government has displayed S-300 missiles at military parades. U.S. Defense Department officials confirmed their presence in the country. So the U.S. is over there too. So they pretty much done set up a garrison. Somewhat. Okay. As do former Venezuelan military personnel. A few details have been revealed about their operational status or deployment. According to defense experts in the region and satellite imagery obtained by Israeli company Imagesat, at least 4 mobile batteries of S-300 missiles, which is surface-to-air missiles, have been installed in the different parts of Venezuela over recent months to protect key military bases and government centers, with America also having a garrison set up there too. Basically, they came in. A garrison is pretty much when you come in. It's kind of like how we did, well, not we, but how America did when they went over before Obama called back the troops from Iraq. You know, they went over there, took over, and they set up shop. You know, and they basically had everything on lock. They somewhat did that in Venezuela, but not. It's not really. Their foot not really down. Like their foot is like in the air. But that's the further they got. It didn't come all the way on the ground yet. That's why Russia stepped in, causing that. All right. So it says U.S. Donald Trump. It says U.S. President Donald Trump has left open the possibility of using force to oust Maduro and has repeatedly called on Venezuelan military to stage a coup. We were just talking about in a support of U.S.-backed parliamentary leader Juan Guaido. But prospects for an internal army uprising seemed to fade last week when most senior general to public support Guaido, ex-intelligence of Chief Hugo Carvajal, was arrested on drug charges in Spain, where he had gone in hiding. So we're going to get into some scriptures now. So pretty much what they tried to do, America tried to, it's like a gang. This is pretty much like gang bangers. Like this is like the streets. This is pretty much like, they pretty much tried to, like pay them off, get somebody in their circle to fold, snitch or whatever. Basically turn on them so they can have an inside man. You learn that in all the movies. A lot of brothers, a lot of people done learned that in the streets. Um, they put these things up, so I'm sure everybody should be familiar with that. So that's what they tried to do. They was actually dirty enough to try to do that. That's how conniving and subtle and yeah, just subtle. Is that what it is? Yeah, subtle, more subtle than that the serpent Esau is. That goes back to the serpent. That was more subtle than any beast of the field. All right. So it says we're gonna get into these scriptures. So the first scripture we're gonna pull, we're gonna finish reading these, proving that the other nations are about to get together and they're gonna jump America. That's pretty much what we're gonna see happen. See the fall. It says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen; thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee." So the Most High, he done took America and made them small amongst the heathen. So when they go to these summits, these G20 summits or whatever you want to call them, these councils they had, these heathens have together, they're despised now, because everyone, like the scriptures say, he said he was going to raise up their skirt, and everyone's going to see their nakedness, and see their shame. Basically, see how vile and filthy this whore is, Babylon. Even though all these kingdoms are laid with this queendom, even though they're all queendoms too. So it's just a big abomination. And the Most High just done shook up their spirit, to start have this, playing out like this. So it says, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee. We know that's America. We know this talking about America. America is the most prideful. America is the most prideful people. Americans are the most prideful people on the planet. We'll keep going. We won't prove the problem. It says, we could prove it, but I'm going to keep it going. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Where did Esau come from? Mount Seir. All right. So we're going to go ahead. Move this guy out the way. We're going to bring the prophecies to light more. All right. Thou that dwellest on the. All right. This is talking about these people right here. These so-called Edomites. All right. Not talking about anybody else. So it says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, whose habitation is high. So this is why the Esau, the Edomites, they love mountains, they love hiking, they love, as it said, Esau he's a man of the field. You go back, you can read that in Genesis 25. It's just in their DNA. It's just in their ancestry. They're on top of a mountain just to take this picture. So we know this is the Edomite forward so-called nation, America, because this is not their land. This land was stolen from the natives, the northern tribes. Call them northern tribes still due to the split. So the Most High bring us back together. All right. So it said, so he said, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Who is thee? It's talking about the Edomites. Where are the Edomites mainly located? What Edomites are you talking about? You're talking about the ones running this place called America, Babylon, the #1 place that has got to go. Planet Earth. So I can't have to go back. All right. I'm just gonna go through some of these. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. So he's in a mountain up high. and this is where he's dwelling at, whose habitation is high. See this? It's an Edomite. All right. Let's get some more. It's not gonna be. This is not, as he said, that pride has deceived them. They got it twisted. Look at the views these Edomites love. I mean, they have. This is what they like. We don't, you don't see anybody else, with views like this. Israelites is not living like this. From Reuben to Benjamin. These are the Edomites. That's what this prophecy is talking about. Right? That's what these scriptures talking about right here. Obadiah is all about the Edomite. Esau. 100%, without a doubt. We're going to keep going. So it says, whose habitation is high, that say in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So you see this. Look how they live. They in the clefts of the rock, living up high. She's in an indoor. I don't even know what this is. This is, we're not even familiar with something like this. This is an indoor. This is like James Bond. This is like 007. This is like, see that creates that mentality right there. Who shall bring me down? You won't even know this exists. Look at the mountains is right across. Literal mountains are right across from where they're residing at in these clefts. So they have to be in a mountain, a similar mountain, right across the way. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and we know that, boom. It's not hard to tell. It ain't hard to tell. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, we're going to really break this down to be talking about so-called the American Edomite or whatever. Make sure I got all of these for you to see. All right. So let's bring this thing to life. Okay. Don't this look familiar right here? Look familiar, right? Now let's watch this come to life. Okay. See that? What this say? It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars. And we're going to prove this is talking about so-called Edomite. And we're going to fly through these scriptures and be done with this. Okay. Let's get this one. Let's do this one. These people know who they are, man. A Viacom company. This is a company owned by a so-called Jew. Viacom. Viacom. A Viacom company. You can look that up on your own. And it's owned by a so-called Jew. Just seen this. Oh, right. Duh. It's owned by Summer Redstone. Rothstein. This Edomite devil, he owns CBS, Viacom, MTV, BET, and Paramount. See that? This guy right here. That's his name. His name is Sumner Redstone. See? Red. Came out red and hairy. Rothstein. They know who they are. You can't make this up, man. That's Mount Seir. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Let's keep going. So there you go. That's Paramount. You know he's from the Caucasus Mountains, southern Russia, Georgia, Russia, and originally in his ancestry, his origins goes back to Mount Seir, which was destroyed also. The thing which has been is the thing which shall be. Tell you that in Ecclesiastes, paraphrasing. It says, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, saith Yahweh. If a thief came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen thee till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Okay, I'm gonna jump to 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There was none understanding him. So all these people, you see America, they used to be at the G20 summits. All these people turning on them now. That's why Yahweh Shah said, Satan's house won't stand. It's divided amongst itself. Okay, so you watching prophecy unfold. All right, let's get into these scriptures real quick, man. We're gonna leave this up. I'll go to it. First one we're gonna get is Proverbs. I'll get it on the screen as well. Hold on a second. Alright. Don't say the word. Okay. Proverbs. Let's get this thing going. Proverbs, we're going to get 1921. Proverbs 1921. Lock this article up we just read. So it says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord shall stand. So Esau, he thought he could come and, like they said, make a coup with people that are preparing battle against him by trying to bait them whatever wicked simpleness he thought that he can, pull to get himself out of this. But as the scriptures say, Proverbs 19:20-21, there are many devices in a man's heart, meaning his mind. Esau, he gonna come up with all type of things. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. There's no way you're getting around this, Esau. This is what the scripture says is gonna go down. This is what's happening. This is gonna be a demise. That's it. You're not finna get one of these nations to bend, because the Most High done put it on their spirit. Say the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. So the Most High he already counseled this. You know, it's already programmed into the spirit he done put on your fellow heathens. All right, proverb. We're gonna get Psalms. Let's jump to Psalms 21:11, and we're gonna wrap this up. So it says, slide this down. For they intended evil against thee; they imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. So yeah, you're a heathen too, down there, that the Venezuela. You know, those are heathens, specifically. So you know, Esau thought he could, fellow heathens, he thought he could attend, you know, some evil, you know, to make their own army uprise and basically get them to eat themselves. You know, that's what Esau thought. You know, that's what America thought. You know, they imagined a mischievous device. So they was mischievous is when it's something intentional, is intended to hurt. So he was trying to. That's what he was trying to create. Confusion. That's that subtleness. That's that craftiness. That's that that slyness. That I mean, it's just this dude is he's just literally a serpent. It says which they are not able to perform. So they tried to do all that was intended to be evil. They imagined, they thought of these mischievous devices, these tools they can use, these strategies, and they are not able to perform them because the council has already been ordained, and that shall stand. All right, Psalms 33:10. Psalms 33. Psalms 33:10. So it says, the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. So you're not finna watch Esau escape out of this thing. It's not happening. Not D.O.B. daughter of Babylon, America is finished. It's a wrap. We're seeing it happen. We're seeing it take place. There's nothing they're going to be able to do to get themselves out of this. Not any money or anything like that. And the article is actually good. It actually, I'll probably just go ahead and pull it back up. That's what I'll probably go ahead and do real quick, because it's something good in here. So I'll read that one more time. It says, the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. Nothing they're going to do is going to have any effect, even if he did let them do it. But he's not going to let them do it. As it says, the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. Comes to nothing. It's shooting blanks. Okay. If it just don't come up, pretty much, this is what it was saying. It was saying, it was pretty much saying that they understood Venezuela, Russia, they understood with their council or whatever, since they were ordained to, you know, had a one up on getting America out of here first. Pretty much they're looking to get Syria came in the picture. Syria is looking to get an S-400. So if America, if they got a 10-year-old missile, surface-to-air missile that they're using, that they got from Russia, because Russia's once again proven Russia has the most powerful military. They're supplying everybody. They come up with these next level weaponry. That's what the Most High allowed them to do. And it's gonna bring everything to naught that these nations that try to war against Russia, is gonna come to naught. So Syria comes into play, and they want an S-400, which is crazy because the S-300 is a 10-year-old missile, which they're using just to intimidate deter anything, any motive of action that America would do. One of their 10-year-old missiles, so an S-400. But the reason why they said they wanted to do that is because I can't get this. If you seen the article, you could just go find it yourself and scroll down from the parts I already went over, and you'll see it. It says something to the extent of pretty much that's a super. They're trying to spend the most money as possible. Why? Because they have an understanding on where America's truly at. America's finished. The more money they spend, that's the more money America's gonna have to spend. See, they're gonna have to accommodate. They're gonna have to meet, the standard. So Syria, they're willing to throw away. They're willing to. I mean, this is a war that they're willing to vet. It's all in. This is all in. That's what it is. America don't got nothing else. It's a facade. Everything we're seeing is a facade because they're gonna lose. Period. So moving on. It says, I think we get one more. 33:16. There is no king saved by a multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. So even if America got, other heathens to join sides with them, it says no king is saved by a multitude of hosts. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. So none of these nations are ultimately delivering themselves by this weaponry. Nothing. It's the Most High that's ordaining all this to play out like that. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. In these worldly terms, you understand the most powerful military to be Russia, but that's ordained to be like that. The Most High is giving them that power because He's going to use them. That's Magog in the Bible. All these other nations, you have Ashur, you have the Hamites, you have Canaanites, you have Elam, you have Moab, you have Ammon, you have so on. You have a lot of different nations, right? And I think with that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna top this off. Go ahead. I'll just go ahead and grab this one. Might as well. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous, shall be desolate. So all these nations going to end up being desolate because they hate the righteous. All right, and that's the Israelites, according to the faith. All right. Yahweh Shah, this is another topic, so I ain't gonna get into that. But with Yahweh Shah, He came, and the law being counted as righteousness, He put an end to that. He's the end of the law for being righteousness. You get righteousness by your faith with your works, but the faith, we need to really focus in on this faith thing because it's a power. There truly is. And that tells you, it talks about that in Romans. All right, but let's get this last one. I'm going to say Shalom. All right. So it says Psalms 11:6. How is all this going to end? Well, we just seen all those that the evil that hate the wicked, they shall be desolate. So we're going to see America come to naught. And with that, let's do it like this. This is ultimately what we're looking at. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. It's a lot. Bear with me. So let's bring these scriptures. They have life. So not necessarily bring them to life. We just this thing moves so slow. Let's close that out. this. Cut that. That's how we gonna do this. Okay. So we got. So we got this thing ended, man. (11:6). Psalms 11:6. It says, upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the cup of their portion. One more time. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, traps, setups, things he ordained for your downfall. Fire, brimstone, the same way Sodom and Gomorrah was taken out, which we know, according to Revelation, this is spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritual Sodom, and spiritual Egypt. Paraphrasing. And horrible tempest. This shall, as we looking at, be the cup, be the portion of their cup. So with that, hope that's been edifying. As we can see, these nations were they ordained to come together and ultimately take out D.O.B., daughter of Babylon, mystery Babylon, the great whore, America. So with that, I'll say shalom.